Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a review of Ayumi Hamasaki's studio album Party Queen. I'm not a huge fan of Ayumi Hamasaki. I think she's a great artist. She has come out with some fantastic masterpieces over the years, but her voice isn't my favorite. I am going to review some of her albums because I do own them. However, when it comes to her, I don't own any physical copies of her albums. I have only bought the albums off of iTunes, so I have all my digital albums from her on here, so I won't be showing you guys an album like I do with my Kodokumi ones. So let's go ahead and get started. Track 1 is Party Queen, the namesake of the actual album itself. This song is interesting. I feel like it's almost a little too happy-go-lucky for a party queen. When I saw the name of the album, I assumed these were going to be more sexy, sultry type songs. And so I get that it's kind of the vibe of she's at a party, everybody's just relaxed and having a good time. So it does fit in that aspect. It's just a different viewpoint from what I originally thought that the album was going to take for its direction. But I mean, it's a good track. It's okay. It's not my favorite. It's not really my thing for this song, but it does bring in the theme and the feel of the album itself. Number 2 is NaNaNa. And this is probably one of my more favorite tracks on the entire album. Honestly, the first 3 or 4 tracks are the only songs on this whole album that really stick with the theme of Party Queen, in my opinion. I feel like everything else just kind of is there. Like, they could be better off on other albums. When I see Party Queen, I assume this is going to be a lot of like upbeat, party, rock, dance beats. But I didn't really get that with this album. The only thing I don't really like about this song, the beginning, like tick tock tick, like it's just kind of simple, and the guy that is singing it is just this well, I guess he's not random. I watched the live of her singing this from her tour, and it's that guy with the pink mohawk, and he kind of freaks me out. Like, the fact that he can like dance better than most girls, and like I don't know, like he just kind of creeps me out. Like, he's got serious eyeliner on, but he sang this part, so I can only assume that that's him. But he's got a super deep voice, and that's not what I expected either. The rap isn't like really in depth. It's just okay. It's kind of basic English, but granted that's not their first language, so I understand. But it's a good song. I do like the beat in this one. It's better than a lot of the other ones, so I do like this song. 3 is Shake It. And I think this song is good. I don't really care for the beginning part here where she starts going la 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 oh la la la. Like, I'm trying to figure out if she's wanting to say la la or lie. I'm not quite sure. And I don't know, I guess because I love Kodokumi and I do have most of her stuff, and I heard her Shake It song first far before the Shake It song, I automatically assume it's gonna have like this Arabic feel to it, and I really like that song. And this one's still good, it's just it's like a rock version, so I do like this version, but I still prefer Kodokumi Shake It. But this is a good song. I do enjoy this one. This one and NaNaNa I enjoy a lot more than Party Queen. Number 4 is Taskebab. Taskebab. I'm not sure how you say it. I don't even know what that means. But it's just this kind of interlude to, I guess, this section, because it definitely does not give a good introduction into the next section of songs because they're on the slow side. So, I mean, it's an upbeat, quick, like, guitar part. So I didn't really... Like, I was waiting for her to start singing, and I was like, oh, it's over. So then I looked at it, and I was like, oh, well, that's why it's like an interlude of sorts. So, I don't know, it didn't really connect to the next part for me. So maybe this is a conclusion of what songs we just listened to. I'm not sure. So 5 is Call. And I actually really, really like this song. It's got just such an easygoing, gentle melody here with the guitar, and I love it. And the beginning reminds me of an Avril Lavigne song. I don't remember what the name of that song is off the top of my head, but it's really similar to me in a sense. Like I feel like I've heard this song before, and that's why. But it's a gentle song, and I really enjoy that about it because I feel like while she is known more for her rock songs, I do like a lot more of her ballads, I find, than some of her actual rock stuff. So it's a really good song. It has a really good built-up chorus that I do thoroughly enjoy listening to, and it's just, I don't know, it makes me feel good. Sunshine. It's a good song. You should give it a try. 6 is Letter. And the song is very slow. I like the beginning part, but I don't really care for the chorus, to be honest with you. It's still a good one. I prefer Call over this one. And it's still, again, it's a gentle one, so you can see where I get confused why that Taskebab interlude thing, how it connects to any of this. But this is a good song. I do enjoy listening to this one here and there. I have to be in the right mood, of course, but I do prefer Call far more over this song. 7 is Reminds Me, and I really like this song. It's so different. Like, you can hear how it starts off with like I think that's a cello in the background. I'm not a music expert, so bear with me if I got that wrong. But it just kind of builds it up very, very slowly here with just this elegant but classic sound. And then we start getting these other sound effects coming in into the background, which really start to draw the power for the rest of the song. And then here begins with her starting to sing gently. And then it builds up again later, which I do enjoy that as well. Right here. So we go from this really soft beginning into this powerful built-up chorus, and it is a beautiful mix and arrangement. And so I do really appreciate this song for that aspect. 8 is Return Road. And this song starts off so gorgeous. Just this gentle, sliding violin building melody. And then we go into this organ, which I was like, what? The first time I listened to it. It reminds me of her song Microphone from her Rock and Roll Circus album. Just because of the organ. And organs are such a powerful instrument to add with vocals and lyrics, and it just, I don't know, it kind of builds a sense of epicness for me when it comes to music. And so we start off with this strong introduction, and then it goes into a softer melody. And so then you can only assume and expect that, well, if we started off like this, it's got to build up here when she actually gets to the chorus, which would be an excellent addition to the song if she does. Which here we can hear her beginning to get into that. She's starting to build her vocals up for the big moment when she enters into that. And it's just, you can feel the emotion in the song, and I really like that, because not a lot of her songs do I get that from her. And then here we go, the powerful chorus, and it's beautifully and gorgeous and just done so well. Overall, great performance on this song. So this is probably another one of my favorites from this album. 9 is Tell Me Why. And this song is good. I do like it. It just starts off really interesting here with the vocals. And then it goes into a heavier beat here. And you can tell by the title, Tell Me Why, it's kind of more on the side of those songs where, you know, they're wanting to know what's going on. These are the thoughts in her mind. She's trying to understand where something's coming from. So it's almost as if she's talking to herself, discussing it, trying to understand why this happened. And I do enjoy songs like that just because it adds a different complexity to our emotions and how things are. So I thought she did a really good job with the song as well. Again, not my absolute favorite, but I think it was a great addition to this album. I do. It's just different. 10 is A Cup of Tea, and it's like another interlude because it's really short and there's no lyrics. And I have no idea what the heck a cup of tea has to do with the way this song sounds. Like, when I think of cup of tea, I think of like a tea ceremony and like maybe some more calming oriental type music in the background. But it suddenly switches to this like electronic beat with rock sounds, and I don't even know what's happening. But I mean, it's good. It definitely entertains me, but I don't know how this honestly led into anything again in the next song. I feel like her interludes don't really connect the pieces of her album. 11 is The Next Love. In the beginning of this song, how it starts when I first heard it, I had to stop myself because I was like, wait, am I listening to the right thing? Like, I'm supposed to be listening to Ayumi Hamasaki, because this sounds like a Disney song to me. And don't get me wrong, I love Disney songs. They're fantastic. I mean, I grew up with all of them, but I wasn't ready for that, like, whole beginning intro part where it just sounds so classical. But then she goes into this very sultry, sexy voice. And I actually really, really like this song. And it's just a deeper, and I feel like it's a darker tone in a sense with her, because as we get, a lot of her songs are more rock. And so I thought this was a really good one. I just like this sexy tone in the background with all the music going on and the brass instruments. It's just, they did a great job on this one, and the arrangements are fantastic. And it just, there's just something about it. I love it. Her voice staying deeper like this, where she's not getting into that high nasal sound. That's probably another reason why I like this. It's just, it sounds gorgeous with that voice and the rhythm of it. And so, excellent, excellent song. I definitely recommend this one if you haven't listened to this album. 12 is Eyes Smoke Magic. I hate this song. Like, I really hate this song. Like, I think of a magic show when I listen to this. But then this, like, what? Like, what is this? I felt like I was watching Winnie the Pooh when I listened to this the first time. Like, I get that it's supposed to be like a little cutesy song. Like, I don't know, I pictured her doing this weird little like dance with all these little kids and Teletubbies and I don't know going by, and it like kind of freaks my mind out because I just makes me feel like I'm high or something, and I know that I'm not. I'm just listening to a song, and it's just, it's a little too childish sounding and quirky for me. And I really don't have much to say about this. I want to stop listening to this now. 13 is Serenade in a Minor. And again, it's a really slow, like, another interlude, which has me confused again because she's already had like 3, and so this makes like 4 or something. Like, I don't know how these connect. I feel like this one would have been placed better in place of the Taskebab or whatever, however you say that would have been, just because I don't know, it's slower and I feel like it would have connected better with it. I really don't care for this interlude. It's just, I feel like I'm listening to a classical song, which, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy some classical music. I really actually do listen to some very well-known, famous composers, but I don't know, it kind of wants to put me to sleep. It does not draw my attention. I'm just kind of like, okay, that's cool. 14 is How Beautiful You Are. I think the message of this song is really good and sweet, but her voice drives me insane in this song because she does so much vibrato that I don't know, my ears hurt listening to it a little bit. And while I think it's a good message, it's just not my type of ballad or slow song. I like her other ones much better. Like, I don't like when she gets to the chorus. It's just kind of like there's nothing that's memorable about this song for me other than the fact that the message is a good one and that it's sweet, but it doesn't build up to this massive climax like a lot of her other ones. It doesn't really keep my attention, and I don't find a lot to enjoy about this song. Like, right there, her like, it's just I don't know, it just keeps going, and I really don't like this song. That was my review of Ayumi Hamasaki's Party Queen album. So overall, I mean, I think the album is okay. It's definitely not my favorite, and yes, I've already explained that she's not my favorite artist, but please don't hate on me. I do enjoy a lot of her other music and songs. There's just like Kodakumi, I like her more for that she has a deeper voice for a Japanese music artist, whereas I feel like a lot of them have higher pitched voices. And Yumi Hamasaki herself, she just has a very unique voice, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so I do think some of her songs are amazing and fantastic, and nothing can beat some of those songs. But for me, she's just not my favorite, and I struggle to enjoy her like really high nasally voice sometimes. And yes, Kodakumi does that sometimes as well, but I see it a lot more with Yumi Hamasaki. So this album I thought was a really good job for the fact that I do like her first few tracks. Her first few tracks kept with the theme of Party Queen itself, but then it really went into a lot more ballads for mostly the rest of the album, which kind of slowed things down a lot. When I think Party Queen, like I mentioned earlier, I picture that that's going to be, you know, all sorts of dance beats for you to dance to, but it surprised me because it wasn't. But she does have some beautiful, gorgeous ballads on this album as well. So all in all, I do think it was a good release for her. Definitely not the best in my opinion. I've definitely heard much better albums from her, but it was still a really good one. So if you haven't listened to this one, I would still recommend that you give it a try. I am listing my top 5 favorite tracks from this album, so I definitely recommend, if you've never listened to this one, to go and try and listen to those songs in full to see what you think. Please put your comments below. Let me know your thoughts on this album or the artist Yumi Hamasaki herself. I love to hear your opinions, and if you could tell me reasons of why you enjoy her as an artist yourself, definitely do that, because I am always looking for ways to try to find another way to appreciate an artist for their music that they come out with and everything. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this review, and I hope to see you again.